Resident doctors mobilize as industrial court bars strike. International tax firm flags errors, gaps in new tax laws, urges review. Multi-vehicle crash causes gridlock on Lagos-Ibadan expressway. And on the foreign scene, Benin Republic heads for legislative polls after failed coup plot. Hello and welcome to the News Hour and Trust TV. I am Mariam Idris. The National Industrial Court in Abuja has issued an interim injunction restraining the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, NAD, and its members from engaging in any industrial action, including strikes, go-slows, picketing, or preparatory steps for protest, starting Monday, January 12, 2026. Justice E.D. Subilim ordered that the injunction remain in force pending the hearing of the motion on January 21st. The suit was filed by the Attorney General of the Federation and the federal government against NAD, its president, Muhammad Suleiman, and Dr. Shuaibu Ibrahim. Earlier, NAD had insisted that the strike was unavoidable, citing unmet commitments and worsening working conditions. Speaking in Abuja, Suleiman clarified that the planned withdrawal of services from midnight Monday was in response to government inaction and not politically motivated. He noted that none of the demands in the Memorandum of Understanding signed on November 27, 2025 have been implemented. Suleiman also challenged the government to account for 90 billion naira allegedly allocated in the 2026 budget for health workers' professional allowances. And the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, NAD, Ahmadu Bello University Teaching Hospital chapter, has announced it will join the nationwide indefinite strike starting January 12th. The decision comes after the federal government failed to meet previously agreed demands. Dr. Haruna Saleh Usman, the chapter president, revealed this through the vice president, Dr. Yusuf Ibrahim, during a press conference in Zaria on Friday. Now, Ibrahim said, in addition to down-tooling members will carry out picketing and peaceful protests within the hospital. He explained that the strike was endorsed unanimously at a Congress meeting, adding that NAD had previously gone on a nationwide strike in November last year, which led to a signed Memorandum of Understanding with the government.
12th of January, midnight 2026, if these our demands are not met, we have minimum demands that need to be met and not then to implement those agreements. Take it back to FTH. It's one of our minimum. We want payment of our outstanding promotion of the salary arrears of our members in all other tertiary institutions, states, teaching institutions, to be paid with immediate effect, including our members that were omitted or have failed payment of 25 or 35% salary arrears, full implementation of professional allowance table and implement committee, and timely recommencement and conclusion of the collective bargaining agreement processes. If these our minimum demands are not met within now to 12th of January, we are down tooling, and we are not just down tooling, we down tool, and at the same time we start picketing and protest within our hospital. Thank you all.
And now the chairman of Dangote Industries, Aliko Dangote, has filed a new petition against former NMDPRA Chief Executive Farouk Ahmed at the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The move follows Dangote's recent withdrawal of a similar complaint from the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC. The petition alleges that Ahmed misused his office for personal gain, including spending about $5 million on his children's education in Switzerland. Dangote's legal team, led by O.J. Onaja, urged the EFCC to investigate the matter and prosecute Ahmed if evidence supports the allegations. The Dangote Group has stated that the shift from ICPC to EFCC was a strategic decision aimed at accelerating the prosecution process. The petition also affirmed that Dangote is prepared to provide evidence to substantiate claims of financial misconduct and abuse of office. Announced certified true copies of the newly gazetted Tax Law Act are now in the public domain. But instead of closing the matter, their release has sparked fresh questions among tax experts, lawyers, and civil society groups. While some say the laws could strengthen Nigeria's tax system, others warn of gaps, inconsistencies, and concerns about how the process was handled. Amina Ibrahim reports.
On Trust TV morning program, Daybreak, financial analysts and tax experts said the new laws have the potential to improve tax administration, but he cautioned that the key issues remain unresolved.
Now, the new law is expected to consolidate every revenue-generating agency of the government into the Nigerian Revenue Service. I'm sure you know a lot of organizations that pay taxes, fix their road, generate their electricity, provide health infrastructure for their staff and the likes. That is the other area where we feel the implementation committee need to address.
Raising a different concern, Salahuddin Hashim, Program Director of the Clean Foundation, questioned the credibility of the process that produced the law. He said, transparency and legality must be examined, not assumed.
The transparency of any law first begins with its legitimacy, which has raised question mark considering the kind of discrepancies that went in from the CTC to the point of gazetting a copy that was completely exclusive of the recommendations from the National Assembly. So what the civil society perhaps can do is to continue to expand awareness among stakeholders and, most importantly, hold to account those who are actually going to implement this law.
Not everyone agrees. A legal practitioner welcomed the release of the certified copies, saying it brings clarity and allows the public to properly examine what was passed into law.
Firstly, we have to commend the National Assembly for heeding to the cry or the questions of Nigerians, and then the clerk. I think it's the National Assembly leadership released the gazetted law, trying to identify the loopholes that Nigerians have claimed are in that law. And also the House of Reps, I think the spokesperson of the House of Reps also released the same version. And it has been able to enlighten Nigerians on our supposed fear.
But beyond the experts' debates, a bigger issue remains. What does these laws mean for ordinary Nigerians? On that, all sides agree. Without clear public education, even the best written tax law risks failure. The true test will not be in the gazetted copy, but in how well the public understand the changes and how fairly they are applied. Amina Ibrahim, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Away from that, global audit firm KPMG has identified major loopholes and inconsistencies in Nigeria's newly enacted tax laws, warning that the gaps could undermine the reforms if not urgently addressed. The laws, including the Nigeria Tax Act, NTA, and Nigeria Tax Administration Act, NTAA, became effective on January 1st, 2026, after being signed by President Bola Tinubu in June 2025. In a newsletter titled Nigeria's New Tax Laws, Inherent Errors, Inconsistencies, Gaps, and Omissions, KPMG said the legislation has strong revenue potential, but requires urgent review to balance revenue generation with sustainable economic growth. The firm raised concerns over provisions limiting tax deductions on foreign currency expenses to the CBN official exchange rate, noting that businesses sourcing forex at higher market rates may be unfairly penalized. KPMG also flagged ambiguities in Section 21 of the NTA, particularly on disallowed expenses where VAT was not charged. The firm warned that Without clarification and amendments, the new tax regime could create uncertainty for taxpayers. The Taraba State government announcement of the temporary closure of the specialist hospital in Jalingo has raised serious concerns about patient welfare, especially for those requiring continuous medical care. A visit to the facility revealed a worrying scene. Patients in critical condition were still receiving treatment. At the dialysis unit, chronic kidney patients were stranded. These individuals depend on regular dialysis, and interruptions can rapidly become life-threatening. With reports that dialysis machines at the Federal Medical Center, FMC, are not fully functional, a total shutdown of the specialist hospital could trigger avoidable fatalities. Experts warn that abrupt service disruptions can endanger lives, particularly for dialysis patients, blood transfusion recipients, emergency obstetric cases, trauma victims, critically ill children, cardiac patients, and those on oxygen or intensive monitoring. Contrary to speculations linking to the shutdown of the elapsed tenure of the Chief Medical Director, Dr. Alex Mayangwa, the hospital has been undergoing government-mandated renovations since last year, which required disengaging patients for construction. A director of research and consultant pediatrician at the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research has debunked misinformation suggesting that immunization and vaccination cause infertility in females. Speaking with Trust Television, the medical researcher highlighted the benefits of immunizing children, especially girls, stressing that vaccines prevent infectious diseases, including cervical cancer, the most common cancer among women. The report.
Immunization is regarded as one of the greatest public health advancements of the last 100 years. It involves administering vaccine to protect individuals from infectious agents they may come in contact with. Through immunization and vaccination, about 100 infectious diseases can be prevented, saving millions of lives globally. However, misinformation surrounding vaccines persists. Addressing this concern, a director of research and consultant pediatrician at the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research, Dr. Agatha David, has dismissed claims that immunization and vaccination cause infertility in female. Speaking to Trust TV, Dr. David emphasized the importance of immunizing children and vaccinating young girls, particularly from age of 9 and above, noting that vaccines are critical to their long-term health and well-being.
Millions of lives have been saved through vaccination and immunization. However, of recent, there are all kinds of stories that are coming out about vaccination. We call that misinformation because it is not rooted in any kind of fact that it causes infertility. It is a population control measure by Western powers. These are false. There have been scientific publications on the effectiveness and the benefits of vaccination for decades. There was a time that they thought certain vaccinations were associated with autism, but that has been debunked severally. So vaccination saves lives, especially the lives of children.
Residents in Lagos also share their views on the importance and necessity of immunizing children and young girls, saying it helps prevent the spread of infectious diseases.
I don't believe in vaccination causing infertility. So I advise young mothers to allow their children to be vaccinated.
It's a very good thing. If people can go out and get immunized, it's very good. Because some diseases that we don't even know about, due to what we eat, it can easily prevent it from coming up into our body. So people should be educated, they should be informed, they should be encouraged to go for immunization. They should take their children out and get immunized. I think immunization is very, very important to everyone in the country right now because of the exposure of the air pollution and all the kind of food we are taking, especially to the children and the girls tender age. It's very, very okay because people think that the government maybe they are giving them wrong things, but no.
Health experts stress that immunizing children is vital to protecting them from various infectious diseases. Vaccination also plays a key role in preventing cervical cancer, the most common cancer among women, as well as liver cancer and hepatitis B. To improve understanding and acceptance of immunization and vaccination across the country, experts say sustained community engagement through outreach programs and accurate information dissemination is essential to dispel myths and increase vaccine uptake.
The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Joash Amupitan, has vowed that the 2027 general election will be free, fair, transparent, and technologically driven, warning that the commission will tolerate no misconduct. Speaking in Lagos at the 2026 INEC induction and strategic retreat held January 9th to 10th, Amupitan said the commission is preparing for a rapidly evolving electoral landscape and must meet the high expectations of Nigerians. He commended staff for their performance in the November 2025 Anambra State governorship election, describing it as a defining moment early in his tenure. Amupitan noted that the road to 2027 will include key milestones such as the February 2026 FCT area council elections and off-cycle governorship polls in Ekiti and Osun states. He outlined 5 non-negotiables pillars guiding INEC: free, fair, credible, transparent, and inclusive elections, highlighting the importance of first-time young voters. He said they will demand openness and real-time transparency. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has resumed the second phase of the continuous voter registration exercise nationwide. However, in Kaduna Metropolis, the exercise is facing challenges ranging from low turnout of applicants to technical difficulties. Trust TV's Bella Musa, who visited the Kaduna North INEC Registration Center, reports that poor network connectivity is slowing down data capture and upload processes. The report.
At the Kaduna North INEC local government office, the exercise is progressing slowly. Although turnout remains low, poor network connectivity is significantly frustrating both applicants and INEC staff, making data capture and uploading difficult.
The network provider, the thing is very slow. You'll be uploading a picture and see. You waste so many times try to upload the picture and it will not go. So there's nothing we can do.
Some applicants who came for the replacement of lost permanent voter cards say they arrived early but were forced to wait for hours due to the slow process.
My experience is very, very sad because I came here since around 10:30 a.m. But currently the time now is almost 12:30. We are experiencing network problem. I came all along from Millennium City, spending more than 2 hours here, and nothing is moving.
I'm here for over 30 minutes, waiting because I lost my voter's card. I want to revalidate it, so I'm here for more than 30 minutes, but the network is not in order.
Beyond network challenges and low turnout, INEC officials say poor attitude among some eligible voters is also undermining the exercise, as many residents fail to take advantage of the registration period.
People come for various reasons. Some will tell you their card is missing. They want to do new one, which we will easily locate their card on our system. We fetch it out and print another one for them. But the problem we're having is some will lose their card or damage their card. They will now go to cafe and register afresh. And if such people should succeed in doing that registration, which they'll come here, they'll tell us it's a fresh one. We're asking them, is it a fresh one, or you lost your card, or you damaged your card? So we easily trace it out and print another one for you. They will insist that no, they have never done it before. The implication is that if you do such thing, the system will discover it, and that will be counted like double registration. And the one you did, the new one, and the old one you did, both of them will be cancelled. You will no longer be in the database.
Meanwhile, stakeholders assessing the exercise attribute the challenges to poor voter awareness and limited advocacy, stressing the need for increased public sensitization.
When we visited some of these polling units, we realized that those who did their pre-registration online and they have decided to come up to INEC designated offices. Number one, before you upload your information, it takes a number of time. Is it that they don't have enough data? Is it that the network is very slow? What are the problems? INEC need to improve on that. Even when you go to INEC centers to go and authenticate what you have done online, it's usually a problem also because of the upsurge of people that usually come up and jam pack all these various units for this authentication.
As the continuous voter registration exercise continues, INEC officials are appealing to the public for patience, while applicants are calling for improved network services to ensure a smooth and efficient registration process. Bella Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
U.S. President Donald Trump hinted that the United States might carry out additional military strikes in Nigeria if attacks on Christians continue. The statement follows a U.S.-led strike on Islamic State affiliates in northwest Nigeria on Christmas Day, described by both Washington and Abuja as a coordinated operation targeting extremist groups. Trump said he had hoped the December 25th strike would be a one-off, but warned that further attacks could occur if violence against Christians persisted, adding that Muslims have also suffered from extremist attacks. The Christmas Day airstrike, conducted with Nigerian cooperation, targeted IS affiliates in Sokoto State and drew international attention. Federal government, however, has rejected claims that Christians are being specifically targeted, stressing that groups like Boko Haram and ISWAP attack both Muslims and Christians amid the country's broader security challenges. Now, the Nasarawa State Police Command has rescued 3 kidnapped victims and arrested 6 suspects in a joint operation with local vigilantes. According to a statement by SP Ramhan Nansel, Police Public Relations Officer, the victims, 2 females and 1 male, were abducted from Angara village of Lafia local government area, but were rescued unharmed. The suspects have confessed to the crime and were transferred to the State Criminal Investigation Department, SCID, for further investigation and prosecution. SP Nansel explained that the operation was conducted by Asakio Division Police operatives following a complaint received on January 7, 2026. Regarding the abductions, the Commissioner of Police, CP Shatima Jaro Muhammad, reassured residents of the command's commitment to tackling criminality and ensuring the safety of communities across Nasarawa State. Now, following investigations by authorities, fresh details have emerged over the alleged torture of a civil defense volunteer at the Fage Divisional Office, which reportedly led to his death. Meanwhile, protests have erupted in the Fage area of Kano State as youth demand justice for the deceased. Trust TV's Abdulaziz Ibrahim visited the community and now reports.
The family of 23-year-old Halifa Abdullahi, a tailor and volunteer with the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC), remains in deep mourning 3 days after his death. His sister says Halifa had earlier complained of being accused by some colleagues of theft and showed her visible marks of torture before his eventual arrest. She recalls that despite her concerns, Khalifa insisted on returning to the office to clear his name.
He told me he was accused of stealing money and showed me injuries from torture. He believed his innocence would clear him, but days later, they brought his body back.
His brother also alleges that the deceased was severely beaten while in custody, despite repeated pleas for the officers to stop. I saw him in a bad condition in the cell. They kept beating him even when I begged them to stop. The incident has since sparked public outrage, with youths in Fagge taking to the streets to demand accountability and justice for the deceased. In a fresh development, the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps has redeployed the divisional officer in charge of Fagge. All officers on duty during the incident have also been handed over to the Nigeria Police for further investigation. According to the State Commandant Muhammad Hassan, a committee of inquiry has been constituted to ensure a transparent and impartial investigation, with assurances that anyone found culpable will face the full weight of the law.
He is working with them, so I want the federal government, Fagge local government, Kano state government, to make sure that they verify this thing, because I have never seen this thing happen. There is no way out that somebody will come and kill somebody just because of 1.6 million.
As the family continues to mourn and the community intensifies calls for justice, attention is now focused on the outcome of the ongoing investigations, with many hoping it will bring closure and accountability. Abdulaziz Ibrahim, Trust TV News, Kano.
Now moving on to more stories. Heavy traffic snarled the Lagos-Ibadan expressway on Friday afternoon after a crash involving a heavy-duty truck and two passenger vehicles disrupted movement along the route. The Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, confirmed that no fatalities or injuries were recorded. The incident occurred on the Berger Inward Secretariat section of the expressway. The collision triggered a major traffic buildup, with congestion stretching from Jubilee Estate to Berger New Garage, as recovery efforts and traffic control measures were implemented. LASMA confirmed the crash in a post on X. And troops from the 3rd Division of the Nigerian Army, operating under the Joint Task Force Operation Enduring Peace, JTF OPEP, have neutralized a notorious bandit and recovered weapons during a raid in Plateau State on January 8, 2026. The operation targeted a hideout linked to the December 16, 2025 attack on illegal miners in Tosho community. During the raid, troops engaged in a firefight, resulting in the death of one bandit, Sadiq Isa, while others fled the scene. Recovered items include 2 AK-47 rifles and 162 rounds of 7.62 mm ammunition, now secured in military custody. Follow-up operations are ongoing to apprehend the fleeing suspects and curb further criminal activities. Operation Enduring Peace continues to focus on restoring stability in Plateau State and neighboring areas. In a related development, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General W. Shaibu, during his first operational visit to the 6th Division in Port Harcourt, assured troops of improved warfare and working conditions. He commended soldiers for their dedication to protecting critical national infrastructure, describing it as essential for economic growth and national development. And now the national chairman of the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, MACBAN, has called on Fulani pastoralists to respect the rule of law and prioritize education for their children, emphasizing its importance for securing their future and contributing to national development. Our correspondent reports that the MACBAN president made the appeal during a sensitization visit to Jigawa State, where he was received by Governor Umar Namadi and engaged with Fulani communities across the state. The report.
The Macban leadership highlighted that Nigeria's pastoralist population of over 40 million people faces widespread stigmatization and accusations linking them to criminal activities more than any other ethnic group. Speaking on behalf of Governor Umar Namadi, the State Deputy Governor Aminu Gumau reaffirmed the Jigawa State government's commitments to investing in ranching and modern livestock practices, noting that such initiative would reduce conflict, boost productivity, and enhance economic benefit for pastoralists.
As you are aware, the cattle breeding industry is a significant contributor to our state economy, and it provides livelihoods for thousands of our citizens. As government, we are committed to supporting the growth and development of the industry, and we will continue to work closely with Macban to address the challenges facing our cattle breeders. It is equally important to inform you that recently Jigawa State government, under the leadership of His Excellency Malam Dr. Umar A. Namadi FCA, the Executive Governor of Jigawa State, established a substantive Ministry of Livestock to fast-track the development of the sector. I urge the newly elected official to work tirelessly to promote the welfare of your members and to collaborate with relevant government agencies to address issues such as security, access to grazing land, and animal health.
The Macban president also urged media organizations to uphold professionalism by avoiding ethnic or racial profiling of Fulani people, stressing that criminal acts should be attributed to individuals, not an entire ethnic group. He revealed that Macban is working closely with security agencies to identify criminals who exploit Fulani identity to commit crimes, thereby protecting the reputation of genuine pastoralists.
That have started as an association that aims to protect the interests of cattle breeders in the country, ensuring they have grazing areas, ensuring they have water, ensuring they have access to veterinary services, access to education, access to all the necessary amenities of life, just like any other citizen in the country. This is what Macban stands for. We have never represented any criminality, and we don't talk or stand for any criminal, because Macban is a peaceful association. It's a non-political, non-religious, and non-violent association.
The Macban leader commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for recognizing pastoralists as key contributors to Nigeria's socio-economic development, describing the creation of the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development as a landmark policy. According to him, the initiative has provided a national framework now being adopted by several states to modernize livestock management, promote peaceful coexistence, and strengthen food security.
The Katsina State Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has arrested 1,018 drug peddlers in 2025, comprising 992 males and 26 females. Seized substances include 1,667.747 kilograms of cannabis, 12.348 kilograms of codeine, and 793.66 kilograms of psychotropic drugs, totaling 2,473.755 kilograms. In Katsina, Trust TV's Abdullahi Yamadi reports.
The agency secured the arraignment of 86 suspects and the conviction of 87 others in 2025. NDLEA Katsina Commander Samaila Damalam disclosed this during the end-of-year review press briefing, stressing the agency's commitments to combating drug abuse and trafficking. Highlighting the command's achievements in 2025, which coincided with the decoration of 61 promoted officers, Damalam emphasized that success requires collective efforts. He stressed the importance of synergy, information sharing, advocacy, and community policing to make Katsina a safe and drug-free state. The commander recalled that intelligence-led raids and patrols resulted in the arrest of several individuals and the disruption of illicit drug networks across the state.
Here are the details. Number of persons arrested based on gender in the year under review. Male, 992 suspects. Female, 26, which brings to a total of 1,018. Types and quantity of substances seized. Under the substances, we have cannabis sativa, where we arrested 1,667.747 kg, which is equivalent to about 1.6 tons. Codeine, 12.248 kg. Psychotropic substances, 793.66 kg. Grand total of 2,472,755 kg, which is equivalent to 2.4 tons.
Under the War Against Drug Abuse WADA initiative led by Brigadier General Muhammadu Buba Marwa retired, the command achieved 203 sensitization programs, reaching 75,135 beneficiaries, 451 clients counseled, and 58 clients rehabilitated. Despite these achievements, NDLEA Katsina continues to face logistical challenges, including insufficient operational vehicles, inadequate office accommodation, and infrastructure deficits for officers across the state. Abdullahi Izumayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Welcome back. And now to business news. As Africa's natural gas demand is projected to rise 60% by 2050, floating liquefied natural gas, FLNG, is emerging as a critical solution for efficient supply. According to the State of African Energy 2026 Outlook by the African Energy Chamber, AEC, FLNG technology enables offshore gas to be processed and exported at sea, reducing reliance on costly onshore infrastructure and mitigating security and logistical risk. UTM Offshore in Nigeria is progressing toward a $5 billion FLNG facility at the Yoho field, while other projects across Africa, including Cameroon's Hilly Episayo, Senegal, Mauritania's Gimi FLNG, and Gabon's Cap Lopez FLNG, highlight the continent's growing expertise in floating gas solutions. Beyond exports, FLNG is expected to support gas-to-power initiatives, petrochemical development, and regional energy security, contributing to Africa's broader economic growth. AEC Executive Chairman NG Ayuk stressed that FLNG offers a faster path to monetization and sustainable development, though success requires clear regulations, stable fiscal terms, and alignment with national energy strategies. And away from Nigeria, 1 month after an attempted coup rocked Benin Republic, the West African nation will on Sunday hold parliamentary and local government elections, a vote expected to shape the political landscape ahead of the presidential election scheduled for April. President Patrice Talon's ruling coalition is widely expected to consolidate its grip on power, with the main opposition Democrat Party barred from the local elections and the forthcoming presidential race after failing to secure the required number of endorsement signatures. Although the Democrats will participate in Sunday's parliamentary polls, analysts say the party risks losing further ground to Talon's three-party alliance which currently controls 81 of the 109 seats in the National Assembly. The elections come at a tense moment for the country, which is still recovering from a deadly coup attempt by the army mutineers on December 7th. The plot was crushed within hours by Benin's military with support from Nigeria and France. Talon 67 has overseen notable economic growth during his nearly decade-long rule. However, critics accuse the administration of clamping down on political opposition and civil liberties. And in sport, Senegal have become their first side to qualify for the semi-finals of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations AFCON after securing a 1-0 victory over Mali in their quarter-final encounter at Tanga on Friday. Everton forward Iliman Ndiaye scored the only goal of the game, capitalizing on a costly error to seal the victory and keep the Lions of Teranga on course in their quest for a second continental title. For more on sport updates, let's join Adeni Adeshafe.
The Confederation of African Athletics, CAA, has released the official qualification standard for the 24th African Senior Athletics Championship, setting clear benchmarks for athletes targeting a place at the Continental Showpiece. In sprint event, male athletes are to clock 10.20 seconds in the 100 meter and 21.00 seconds in the 200 meter, while women's qualifying standards stand at 11.70 seconds and 24.00 seconds respectively. The 400 meter qualification time have been fixed at 46.50 seconds for men and 54.60 seconds for women. In field event, men's long jump qualifying mark is set at 7.80 meters, while women require a 6.15 meter. High jump standards are 2.12 meters for men and 1.75 meter for women, while the javelin throw qualification stands at 69.00 meter for men and 49.00 meter for women. For combined event, athletes must attain a minimum of 6,960 points in the decathlon and 5,000 points in the heptathlon to be eligible for selection. The 24th African Senior Athletics Championship will take place at the University of Ghana Stadium Ligan from 12 to 17 May 2026. And still in sport, Super Eagles winger Ademola Lookman has expressed confidence that the Super Eagles are fully prepared for their quarter-final showdown with Algeria at the ongoing Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. Nigeria will face the Desert Foxes on Saturday in Marrakesh in what promises to be one of the toughest fixtures of the tournament so far. The clash brings back memories of the 2019 AFCON semi-final, where Algeria edged Nigeria 2-1, sealed by a dramatic late free kick from Riyad Mahrez. Both teams head into the encounter in strong form. The Super Eagles cruised through the group stage with a perfect record, while Algeria also remain unbeaten in the competition. The North Africans boast an equally impressive defensive record, having not conceded a single goal in 4 matches. Lookman believes Super Eagles squad have what it takes to embrace the challenge. That's Sport News. I'm Adeni Adeshafe.
And with that, we've come to the end of the News Hour on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news. I am Maria Idris. Thank you for watching.